Welcome to your movement break today. My name is Nicole Coons. I'm co-founder of Devoted Mamas with my sister Kendra. And our focus, our dedication with Devoted Mamas is to help mothers at all stages of pregnancy, through birth and postpartum, feel strong and confident through movement and self-care. So today, my goal is to guide you through a prenatal yoga practice, but actually this practice is suitable for mothers at any stage, postpartum, and even family members. So if you're a family member watching today and you've never tried yoga, I highly encourage you to hop on a mat or find a space next to your partner or friend that you're watching with and join in on this practice. Now, I'm going to be using yoga blocks during this practice. If you have yoga blocks, great. Go ahead and grab them, bring them onto your mat for this time. If you don't have yoga blocks, it's a-okay. If you have a chair, that might be helpful. The reason we use blocks in a yoga practice during pregnancy is that sometimes the baby takes up a lot of space, and getting up and down from standing to the floor can be a little uncomfortable. So the blocks simply make it a little more comfortable. Again, you can absolutely do today's practice with no blocks, but I will be demonstrating how to use the blocks so that if you find yourself in other yoga practices and you want to do the practice but have support of the blocks, then you learn today how to add blocks to your practice to find more ease and more strength in your postures. So let's begin. Come to your mat, wherever it is, or a space in your room. Come to the front of your mat and place your blocks underneath your shoulder, so about shoulder distance apart. Good. Coming to stand with the feet hip distance. Place one hand on your low belly and one hand on your chest. Close the eyes if that's available to you, or just settle the gaze on a single point in front of you. And take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Relaxing the jaw, part the teeth, lips closed. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. So just see if you can notice the breath in both the upper and lower hand. Again, inhale and exhale. Good. Crack the eyes to come into the room. Drop the hands down by your side. On your next inhale, float the arms up, look up, reach up, stretch through the side body. Exhale, take a forward fold, hands to your blocks, let the head go. Shaking your head lightly, yes, and no, and maybe. Good. Bending one knee at a time, rocking the hips gently from side to side. Notice the breath. So if coming into a forward fold, you already feel the breath turning more shallow, just see what it's like to, once again, deepen the breath in a forward fold. When you're ready, come to center. Soft knees are a good idea here. We're just coming into our forward fold. What about your head? Can you let the head go? Can you let the elbows relax? How's your breathing now? One more breath. Exhale. Bend the knees and roll through the spine. So I love to push my hands into the thighs to support the spine. Good. Shoulders roll. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, standing arms side by your side. Good. Again, inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, forward fold to your blocks, release the head. Inhale, lengthen. This time, step the right foot forward and the left foot back. Inhale, look forward, keep the back leg straight. Exhale, bow, straighten the right leg and bow the forehead towards the knee. Now it doesn't mean we have to touch the knee, we're just letting the head move that direction. On your next inhale, lunge forward. Keep the back leg buoyant and light and strong. Exhale, deep bow. Forward fold, draw the right hip back. Inhale, look forward. Open through the body. Exhale, bow. Release the head. Last one, inhale, look forward. Drop the back knee, untuck the back toes. Option one, just stay here and breathe. So if you've been sitting looking over a computer all day today, this rounded body, your chance to open the shoulders onto the back and lift the head above the horizon. Good, breathing here. Option two is to come out of the posture a little bit and add the arms, reaching up, looking up, breathing, maybe join the palms overhead, maybe even looking at the hands. Breathing deeply. Exhale, hands to the blocks if they're up. Shift the weight back in space. Bring those blocks with you. Flex the foot and bend forward. So hinging at the hip crease. Here what we're doing is aiming for a release of the hips and the back. Exhale. One more. Try to draw the toes back. Notice what you notice. How's your breathing? Keep going. Exhale, bow. Nice job. Hands forward again so you can bring the knees underneath you. And then hands can come to the floor for cat and cow. Open the body as you inhale. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Again, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, rounding, tuck the chin, tuck the tail. Inhale, neutral spine. Take your hips back to your heels, walk the hands back, fingertips to the ground. So option one, fingertips in the ground, pushing into the ground, open through the collarbones. Option two, let the palms settle into the earth. So this may feel like too much, and if it is, stay here. Otherwise, palms down, exhale, maybe even the hips float off the feet. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, set the hips back down, coming forward back into all fours. We're gonna make our way into puppy dog. So puppy dog is a modification for downward facing dog. Walk one hand out, forehead to the ground. Glide the other hand out to meet it. So both palms are out in front of you in line with your shoulders. Forehead is on the ground, hips are high right over the knees. So if you find your hips reaching back, just get it a little forward so it's right over the knees. Breathing into the side body. Exhale. Float those bottom ribs in and up. Breathing. Exhale. Two more. Take those bottom ribs, the floating ribs, just above the belly, and float them in and up towards the spine. One more. This is going to help to elongate the low back. Exhale. Good. Glide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Take some time to get back up, and we're going to do the other side. So using your blocks is a great idea to help get your leg forward between your hands without crushing baby. Good. So coming into tucking your back toes, energize the back leg. As you inhale, look forward. And then as you exhale, bow, draw the left hip back, take the head down. Inhale, look forward, keep the back leg lengthening. Exhale, take a bow. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, deep bow. Listening to your breath, deeply inhale. Exhale, fully exhale. Good. Inhale, come into your lunge, drop the back knee. Untuck the back toes, press the palms into the block. So here we're stretching out the other side. Open the body, breathe, look above the horizon. Again, this is our counter pose to life, right? Life, we tend to be sort of rounded and looking down. So this is your chance to breathe and to imprint your body with this balancing posture for life. If you'd like to raise your arms, come out of it a little bit so we're not putting too much pressure on the hip joint. Hands to your front thigh. Maybe lift the arms up overhead. Maybe join the palms together. Breathing and extending the spine, extend the arms. Deep breath. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathing out. Good. Hands back to your blocks. Shift the weight back in space. So bring the blocks with you, flex through the toes, lengthen the left leg. Long spine, hinge at the hip crease, take a forward fold. So why do we bend at the hip crease instead of the waist? Well, the waist is, we don't necessarily need to find flexibility in this part, in this posture here. We want to, this is for our hamstring. So in order to get the hamstring, keep the rib back over the pelvis, hinge at the hip, the pelvic joint. Yeah, so hinge at the hip crease will help you get into the belly of the hamstring and energize the legs. The kneecap lifts up and the hamstring releases. What I find is that I don't have to go so far in the stretch to get the feeling of a hamstring stretch, which is great when you're pregnant because you don't have a lot of room to go all the way forward. So having this integrity in your alignment can give you a proper and deep stretch without compromising anything else. One more breath. Exhale. Nice job. Bring that knee back underneath you. Hands to the floor for cat and cow one last time. For this set, exhale, rounding and release the spine. Inhale, neutral. Exhale the hips back to the heels, palms to the floor. Inhale, push through the palms, open the collarbone. Exhale. So either stay here or maybe on your exhale, keep those front ribs nice and quiet. Scoop the tailbone to lengthen the fronts of the legs, the thigh muscles. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, step the hips down. Hands come forward again in your all four position. Then walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So here, downward dog, we push the toes into the ground, push the palms down and back, right? So we're gonna send the hips up and back, away from the hands. The weight in downward dog is more on your feet. So if you feel like you're really forward on your hands, bend the knees a lot and push the hands forward, like you're literally stretching your sticky mat underneath you, and reach the hips up and back. Gaze at your navel. So gazing at your navel sort of turns off some of that neck tension. Breathing deeply. So the legs can be as bent as you need them to be. And when you start straightening the legs, do so very slowly so you can pay attention to whether or not you're shifting the weight forward again over your hands. Sometimes that happens when we start to straighten the legs, our weight shifts forward over the hands, and we really want to just keep the spine elongating as we press the legs back slowly with the breath. 2 more breaths here if you can, because you can. Beautiful. On your exhale, come on down to your knees. Gather your blocks under your hands. We're going to come to stand. So stepping yourself forward towards the front edge of your mat, take a forward fold, release your head. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen the body. Exhale, deep bow, release the head. Inhale, bend the knees and roll through the spine. Nice and easy. Your next inhale, the arms lift up, look up. Exhale, standing Tadasana, mountain pose. Good. Now we're gonna do a standing hip opener sequence. So here, bend the knees and reach the arms forward. Here we go with that hip hinging again. So we wanna hinge at the hip crease. Arms reach forward. Breathe in. Exhale, take a bow. Inhale, step the right foot forward and the left foot back. Spin your back heel down. This time your feet are aligned like they're on a tightrope. So the front foot and back foot are on basically the same plane of movement or of in space. Then opening your body to face side. So right arm is forward on your mat, left arm is back. Turn your head to look down your front arm. Good. And that front knee is bent right over the second and third toe. So check it out. If the knee is falling in, move the knee out just over the second toe. Now, try to keep the knee there as you straighten and as you bend right over the second toe. Yeah, good. Inhale and exhale, bend right over the second toe. Now keep the knee there as you inhale the front arm up and back, open, breathe. Exhale, side angle, elbow to the thigh, reach through the opposite hand. Good, keep that knee right where it is. Inhale, open back, look up. Exhale, side reaching, breathing. Good, one more each direction. Inhale, look up, reach up, arch back. Exhale, side reaching, elbow to the leg, reaching through the side body. Beautiful, press into your heels, rise back to center. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Take the back leg, heel toe it in, just a couple of steps, and turn the back leg in a little bit. Good, arms go back to the front to back position. Shoulders still facing side, hips are facing side. Now, deepen the hip crease. So this hip right here, let it drop, let it deepen. Yeah, breathe through that right arm. Exhale, hands come to your foot if you don't have a block. If you have a block, use the one behind your ankle, right? So that's the one we're using here, behind the ankle. And the top hand can either stay on your hip, so we're guiding the tailbone down and under. Yeah, good. And then optional, add the top arm. So either is fine. You might feel a stretch in the inner thigh. That is okay. That is good. Find your breath nice and deep here. Just 2 more breaths. 4, press the feet apart. 5. Good. From here, hand back to your thigh. Bend your front knee lightly. Push into the floor. Rise back up, warrior 2. Nice and strong. Good. Exhale. Cartwheel your hands. Find both blocks. Gather them underneath you. Take your back knee to the ground and the other knee to meet it. Hands to the floor. This time, hips in a circle. So cat and cow is more for the upper back and the spine. This posture is more for the hips. So hip pain can come up in a lot of different stages of pregnancy, and sometimes just getting in touch with the hip muscles and what's going on can be really helpful to help you communicate to your providers, your care team about what you're actually feeling. Sometimes it's more general, and when we start moving, we're able to identify more specifically what's going on, what we're feeling. So take a couple more rotations here, go all the way around or just halfway around with deep breath. Good. Exhale, come back to center. Drop your elbows to the ground, interlace your fingers, extend the pinky finger along the floor, press the forearms down. So option 1 is just to walk your knees back and rest here in puppy dog with the arms, with the palms clasped. Option 2 is to tuck your toes and reach the hips up and back, coming into downward dog again on your forearms. So this is called Dolphin Pose. And your forearms are pressing into the ground. Feet can be as wide as your mat if you need room for baby. And you are breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Feel the forearms pressing into the earth, activating the muscles on your back, strength building, energizing without depletion. Turning on muscles. Your body loves your breath loves your body, and your muscles love to be squeezed and worked. One more good breath here. On your exhale, come on back down to your knees, back onto your hands, and bring your blocks underneath you for the other side. So left leg sticks forward between your hands. Tuck your right foot back, spin the back heel down. We're gonna rise up facing side. So my back is gonna turn to you slightly, opening through. That's it. So your shoulders are facing side, your hips are facing side. The knee, however, is right over your second and third toe. Let's try. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the knee right over the second and third toe. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, keep that knee open. Inhale, keep the knee right where it is. Open, reach, breathe. Exhale, side body stretch. 1. Keep that knee right where it is as you open and release. Exhale, side reach. Keep your heels connected to the ground as well as the toes. Both ends of your feet are connected. Exhale, side reaching. Good. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, straighten through your front leg. Now the back leg is going to come in a couple of notches. Turn the back leg slightly in, moving into our triangle pose. So you get to see it from the back side in case that's helpful. Inhale, lengthen through the left side body. Exhale, the hand to your block or the leg. Now this top hand can stay on your hip. Think of driving your tailbone down toward the back heel. Or that top hand is totally free to rise to the sky. So gaze can be straight ahead or up at the sky. Breath is steady and deep. 3, press the feet apart lightly like you're stretching your sticky mat. 4, 1 more deep breath. 5, good. Forward your front knee, rise back up, warrior 2. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to your blocks. It's time to step to the front of your mat. Stepping into a forward fold, Uttanasana, release your head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees and come up with a hip hinge. So we're hinging the back, feeling those glute muscles working. And then exhale, standing Tadasana, mountain pose. Good. Step your feet off your mat, if you have a mat, or wider than your shoulders. Turn the toes in, and then hinge at the hip crease again. find your blocks underneath your chest. So soft knees here are totally fine. If you have the ability to straighten the legs, go for it. We're not looking for any popping into the joints. So please maintain safety in your joints. From here, a little twisting. So here, we're gonna let the hips move in this posture, okay? So starting with your left hand or right hand, it doesn't matter. Let the arm lift up, rotate, exhale, take it back down, and go to the other side. Open, and come back to center. So just feeling the breath rhythm, and exhale. So take your breath rhythm, right? So your inhale takes you open, and the exhale brings you to center. Take it as slow as you're able, or quick. So depending on where you are in your pregnancy, your breath may be a little quicker because it needs to be. The blood volume increases throughout pregnancy, and that just causes the breath to be a little quicker, but it's still deep and full. Good. Take one more each side, opening and coming back to center. That inhale is the part that takes you open, and exhale back to center. Good. Again, soft knees here. Keep your weight back in your heels and release the arms forward. Dropping the head down between your arms. Again, the weight is on your feet. Finding space in the side body. Option one is just to be here for a few breaths. If you want to add a little bit more stretch, you can walk your hands slightly over to one side and bend the opposite knee. So for me, I walk left and the right knee bend, breathing into the side right body. Breathing deeply, keep the toes relaxed, weight on your feet. Coming back through center. Walk your blocks like you're tracing a rainbow a little over to the other side and bend the opposite knee. So here, what we're doing is looking for a stretch in the side body. Let the head go. Deep breath. Good, come back to center. Walking your hands underneath you. Heel toe your feet underneath you completely. And then come down like you're gonna pick up a pencil off the ground. The heels come up, rocking from side to side. So getting a little bit of that squatting action. If you're sitting all day in a chair, maybe you're not getting this deep squatting action. So taking this posture can be really beneficial just to give, again, your hips and your muscles a chance to reset, to rebalance, to move, increase the range of motion. Increasing your range of motion gently and mindfully is a great way to feel energized without depleting yourself. Take a couple more breaths here, just rocking side to side. Good. And then when you're done, you can come onto your knees and drop the hips onto the feet and then over to one side. So we're gonna take a mermaid twist here. I like this one, it's kind of gentle, but it's just as effective as anything deeper, I find. So the hand comes to the opposite knee, look away from your feet. Breathe here. Exhale. Breathe in again. Relax the neck and shoulders, relax the face. Good. Inhale through center. Up and over to the other side. Crossing your arm over, look over your back shoulder, breathe deeply. 1. Chin in, spine tall. Steady your gaze. Steady gaze, steady breath, steady body. The nervous system receives the messages of your actions and your breath as right now, here and now, everything is okay. Affirming this in your physical body is potent. When you're finished, come back to center. Just extend the legs out. You can blocks handy for this next set of postures as well. So coming to sit in an upright seat. If you have trouble sitting upright, like you feel that you are scooping the tailbone under and not able to sit, which is really common, go ahead and add a pillow or a blanket underneath your hips. Extend the legs out in front of you, taking a forward fold with one leg bent. So starting with the right leg, we can bring the right leg into like a tree pose. So the foot is pressed against the inner thigh and the leg is resting on the ground. blocks in front of you can be helpful, right? So it just helps, again, give you the ability to forward fold without overstretching if this is too much of a stretch. So hands can rest on your block. Lengthen through the spine. Think of the crown of the head extending like a cord from the top of your head. And then exhale, reach and bow. Breathing deeply. If your hands are near your leg, you might even experiment with placing your hands on your leg and letting this also become a back stretch. So it can be a full back body stretch from the backs of the foot, leg, as well as the spine and shoulders. 2 more deep breaths here. Give yourself this time to just breathe, letting go of any ambition to be anywhere else and further along. Breathe. Inhale, slowly lift the gaze. Exhale, release. Come back to center, extend the right leg and switch sides. Left leg comes in, pressing the foot against the leg against the foot. Blocks in front of you if you're using them, resting here. So once again, we're aiming for that hip hinge here, not just rounding over here, right? So doing our best. Blocks can really support you in easing into this. And you may find if you get just to the edge of the sensation and breathe, that after a couple of breaths, you think, okay, actually, maybe I could go just another half inch forward. And you breathe here. Notice how you're breathing. Isn't that interesting? Continue to breathe. If your hands are accessible to your leg, or your leg is accessible to your hands, go ahead and hold on to your leg or foot and let the head go completely. Last couple of breaths. Taking a deep, full back body stretch. So the hips and the back and the legs all release. 1 more breath. Exhale, bow the head. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Good. Coming back to center. Take your feet bent, feet wide on the outer edges of your mat. Drop 1 knee down and just let the inward rotation of that leg release the back outer hip. Other side, drop the knee down. Let this inner rotation of the leg release the outer hip. Good. If that felt good, go ahead and take it again on each side, using your breath again to help you relax and release. Good. Good. And then coming to center with the soles of your feet together, and the blocks can be underneath your legs, and the feet can also be further apart. So especially if you have any pubic symphysis pain or SI pain, you may find more comfort with the feet further away. Otherwise, feet close together with or without the blocks. Wherever you are, take your hands to your feet. So whether you're close or far, take your hands to your feet. Part the inner edges of the soles of the feet apart as the pinky edge connects. Lengthen the spine and take a gentle bow. So we're thinking of this like a seal for the practice. Elbows can be in or out. Hands connected to feet, crown bowing to toes, seat rooted into the earth. The whole body creates a seal, anchoring in your practice today, your breathing, your centering, your rotating from side to side, keeping the axis at the center. By drawing your energy inward to your center today, you're generating energy from within so that you're available and ready to show up in the rest of your day feeling connected, open, able to respond thoughtfully and wholly. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And when you feel complete with the breath, slowly rise up. And we'll set up for final relaxation. So a really nice way to rest in pregnancy or postpartum is with some props. So I'm going to turn myself slightly sideways on the mat so you can, or in the room so you can see me. So if you have a pillow of any kind, you can add that to your rest. So I've stacked a couple blocks on the lowest level, and a blanket or a pillow for your head is a great idea. Coming onto your left side, let the whole left side lengthen long. So sometimes we sleep with our pregnancy pillows with both knees bent. For today's rest, especially if you're on a hard floor, try elongating the bottom leg. This is going to give you some softness in that outer hip, so we're not poking into the outer hip so much. Bring your head to the pillow so the shoulder is supported and the top leg rests. Both the knee and ankle are supported. So the bottom leg is straight. You can even move the bottom hip away just an inch or so that the top hip rolls a little forward. So my hips are on an angle here, just a little bit, not a lot. But what this does, it takes some of the pressure off the outer hip and lets me roll onto the soft, fleshy glute or quad muscle, right? The thigh muscle, which is nice and soft, and there's no bony protrusions there like there in the hip. And this top leg is supported at a level that's equal to the hip height. So sometimes if we have the knee dropping lower than the hip, and we rest like that for 8 or how many hours sleeping, we can create tension in the hip joint. So by getting the knee to the same elevation as your hip, you have the opportunity to let this hip and low back totally relax and rest and restore from your daily movements. So this can be a really restorative way even to sleep in your bed, but definitely after yoga practice, if you're on a hard floor, giving yourself as much comfort and support as you can really pay off. So from here, we're just going to take a few breaths together and I'll end the practice. But if you have more time, you can always come back to this later and take this rest anytime. So from here, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and exhale out. Just letting the breath now begin to flow more spontaneously. So you might find here that your exhale is extra long, or maybe it includes a sigh. Or maybe the inhale is nice and big. Just let your breath be spontaneous and take whatever shape it wants to take. Eventually letting go of all structure around the breath. Giving yourself this gift of stillness for a few moments to incorporate the benefits of your practice, even if you're not aware of them. This ancient practice, which has so many benefits for our nervous system, our bones, our muscles, our organs, and our cells. Taking another 2 or 3 breaths. Complete stillness. Rest. Receive. Slowly begin to deepen the breath again. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring your knees closer to the center. Hands come underneath you. Push into the floor, coming up to sit. So crossing your legs just into a comfortable cross-legged seat, facing forward. So it is important before you stand up just to gather yourself in an upright position. Let yourself reorient to the room or reorient to yourself in space. Reorient to the ground, to the sky, to the space around you. Bring the hands to the heart center. Take a bow to seal in your practice. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I will hope to see you again soon.